Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we will understand a very new topic, that is negative interrogative sentences. Let's understand what are negative interrogative sentences, but before that we have to understand what are interrogative sentences. Yes, so let's understand what are interrogative sentences. We all know that interrogative sentences are what? Are questions. They are used to ask something. Yes, for example, are you coming? Question mark. Did she finish her work? Question mark. Yes. What are negative interrogative sentences? Negative interrogative sentences are questions that contain a negative element, not, or, an apostrophe T. Yes, like ain't. Yes, like don't. Yes, either it's a not whenever we are talking about negative interrogative. Yes, along with a question mark, we'll put a not in the questions. Yes, a negative element. They are used to what? They are used to express surprise, show expectation, convey complaint or criticism, confirm something we believe is true. Okay, so that is what the most important concept of negative interrogative sentences. Now we have understood the definition of negative interrogative sentences. It is very easy. Along with the questions, we have to put a negative element. Now let's put the structure of negative interrogative sentences. Structure 1, contracted form, most common, auxiliary verb plus subject plus not plus the main verb, and at the end we will be putting the question mark. So at the beginning we have to put the contracted form, the most common auxiliary verb. Yes, then we'll be putting the subject, then not, plus the main verb along with the question mark. Now, for example, don't you understand? Don't you understand? So don't is a what? Contracted form. Yes, of auxiliary verb. You is the subject. Yes, and not. We have put a not here. Yes, don't you understand is the main verb along with the question mark. Yes, again, isn't she coming? Now here is plus not. She is the subject. Coming is the main verb along with the question mark. Didn't he call you? Did plus not. He subject. Call is the main verb. You is also the subject, question mark. So that is how the structure of negative interrogative sentences are formed. Structure 2, again, another structure is uncontracted form, formal or emphatic, auxiliary verb plus subject plus not plus main verb plus question mark. For example, do you not understand? Question mark. Is she not coming? Question mark. Did he not call you? Question mark. Okay, so first is what? Formal or emphatic auxiliary verb plus the subject, then the not will come, and then the main verb will come along with the question mark. Now the difference, just check the difference. Isn't she coming? It is what? Informal or the most common form of negative interrogative sentence, and is she not coming is what? Formal or emphasized structure. Okay, the structure 2, where the subject will be at the later part or the not will be added at the later part. Okay, clear? So isn't she coming or is she not coming? Now this is she not coming is used mostly in the formal structure. Okay, isn't she coming is always used in the informal structure. Okay, so we have understood the basic structure form. Now let's understand how we use the WH words in the negative interrogative sentences. Now how do we form it? WH words plus the auxiliary plus the subject, then the not and the main verb along with the question mark. Okay, examples are, why don't you study properly? Question mark. Why isn't he working? Question mark. Where didn't she go? Question mark. Okay? Why don't you study properly? Question mark. Why isn't he working? Question mark. Where didn't she go? Question mark. Okay? So that is how we are using the WH words. Types based on usage. First is expectation based questions. Speaker expects answer yes. Okay? So there are various types of negative interrogative sentences. The first type is when we are expecting something. Okay? So our expectation is what? Expectation is yes. So it's an expectation based question. Didn't you complete the work? Didn't you complete the work? Expectation is what? You did complete it. Okay? So didn't you complete the work? Expectation is you did complete it. Okay? Next is surprise. Surprise based questions. Okay? Isn't she your sister? Isn't she your sister? So now I'm surprised and I'm questioning. Okay? Surprise. I thought she was your sister. That is why I'm questioning. Isn't she your sister? But let's just look at the sentence. It is using our informal way of asking you. Okay? Isn't she your sister? Or if I'm using in a formal way, how will I say it? Is she not your sister? Okay. So now, next type of question is suggestion or advice based questions. Why don't you try again? Suggestion. Why don't you try again? Suggestion. Complaint or criticism. Don't you listen to me? Question mark. Complaint tone. Okay. Now 6 important rules. Rule 1 is use auxiliary verb. Okay. Always use helping verbs. Do, does, did. Is, am, are, was, were, have, has, had, can, could, will, would. Okay? So these are what? These are some helping verbs whenever we are forming a negative interrogative sentence. So these are what? Auxiliary verbs which will help us with some verbs, the helping verbs. So all these are the examples of all the helping verbs. Okay, this is a very important rule. Please keep in mind and always remember these helping verbs whenever we are forming the negative interrogative sentences. Okay, the rule 2 is what? Rule 2 is subject comes after the auxiliary. Now just check this sentence. Don't understand you. So this is grammatically wrong sentence. How will we say? Don't you understand? Question mark. Okay. Use correct tense. Use correct tense. Present, don't, doesn't. Past, didn't. Present, don't, doesn't. Past, didn't. Rule 4 is tone matters. Rule 4 is tone matters. Same sentence can express surprise, anger, sarcasm. Okay, so this is what? Rule 4, tone matters. Same sentence can express surprise, anger, sarcasm. For example, didn't you finish it can be angry or surprised. Okay, so these are what? These are some rule important which is regarding the tense. Okay, so present, don't, doesn't, past is didn't. And also tone matters of the sentence. Same sentence can express surprise also, anger also, sarcasm also. Didn't you finish it can be angry or having a surprised tone. Okay, so these are what? Negative interrogative sentences. Rule of tone matters. Okay, next is that we have to use some tags. Okay, tags in the sentences. Okay, whenever. Okay, so let's understand the comparison of tag versus a negative interrogative sentence. Don't get confused because tags are what? Will you finish it? Will you finish this topic? Will you? Okay. So aren't you? Are you going? Are you going there? Aren't you? So those are what? Those are tag questions. But now these aren't you, didn't you? All these are also used in negative interrogative. But how do we use it? You do not get confused. Okay? Just check the sentence. Didn't you go? Negative interrogative. You went. Didn't you is tag question. So whenever didn't you, aren't you, all these are added after a comma at the end of the sentence. Those are what? Those are tag questions. Didn't you go is negative interrogative. Okay, so I hope you understood this. All right, now let's move on with some MCQs. Choose the correct negative interrogative sentence. You don't like coffee. Don't you like coffee? You like not coffee, not you like coffee. So what did we understand? That auxiliary verb will always be used, yes, in the sentence along with the subject, and don't you like coffee is the correct answer. You don't like coffee? This is also a very confusing option, so do not get confused. This is the correct option. Okay. So, correct structure is auxiliary plus subject plus not. Auxiliary, don't, plus you is subject along with the not. So, don't you like coffee is the answer. Identify the correct formal structure. Isn't she coming? Is she not coming? Okay, so what did I say? That whenever we will be using informal structure, then this is correct. Isn't she coming? But whenever we'll be using in the formal structure, then is she not coming? So this is the correct sentence. So answer will be is she not coming, because we have been asked about the formal structure, not the informal structure. Okay, so that is it. Yes, answer is B. That is she not coming? Okay, uncontracted formal form. Choose the correct sentence. Now you have to choose the correct sentence. Didn't he went there? Question mark. Didn't he go there? Didn't he goes there? Didn't he going there? Okay. Choose the correct sentence. Didn't he went there? Didn't he go there? Didn't he goes there? Didn't he going there? So what will be the correct answer? Just check the tense. Didn't he went there? Didn't he go there? So answer will be what? Answer is B, because after did using the base verb go is the correct tense, also correct way of structuring the correct sentence along with the auxiliary, along with the not in the negative interrogative sentence. So answer is what? Answer is B. Okay. Question number 4. Identify the incorrect sentence. So you have to find out which is the actually incorrect form in the 4 options. Why don't you study? Why you don't study? Why didn't he call? Why isn't she here? So I hope you remember the rule where we were using WH words along with the negative interrogative sentence. So why don't you study? Why you don't study? It is wrong. Why didn't he call? Why isn't she there? So which is the correct sentence? Just check the incorrect form. Why don't you study? Why you don't study? Why didn't he call? Why isn't she there? So why you don't study is the correct answer, because this is what? This is incorrect. Wrong word order. Yes or no? Why don't you study is the correct order. Okay. Now choose the correct sentence. Doesn't she knows the answer? Doesn't she know the answer? Doesn't she knowing the answer? Doesn't she knew the answer? So check the tense. Okay. So doesn't she know the answer is the correct answer, because after does the base form of verb can be used. Okay. So doesn't she knows present continuous or present perfect, present continuous, past perfect is not the correct answer. You have to use the correct base form of verb. Doesn't she know the answer is the correct form. Okay. Next is which expresses suggestion. Which expresses suggestion. Didn't you break it? Why don't you join us? Isn't he angry? Didn't she cry? Which is the correct form? Which expresses suggestion, a tone of suggestion in the sentence. Didn't you break it? Why don't you join us? Isn't he angry? Didn't she cry? So these are what? These are just facts that we are actually saying. Why don't you join us is the correct answer, because it is expressing a suggestion in the form of a negative interrogative sentence that please come and join us. This is a suggestion. Yes, so answer is B, because why don't you is the suggestion of questioning somebody. Okay, choose the correct sentence. Don't he understand? Doesn't he understand? Doesn't he understands? Don't he understands? What is the correct form? Which is the correct structure in this particular sentences? Don't he understand? Doesn't he understand? Doesn't he understands? Don't he understand? So which is the correct answer is B, singular subject. Doesn't he understand? Okay. So singular subject, that is does. All right. Next is identify correct structure. Didn't she finish her work? Didn't she finish her work? Didn't she finishing her work? Didn't she finishes her work? Which is the correct sentence? Didn't she finish her work? Didn't she finish her work? Didn't she finishing her work? Didn't she finishes her work? Just check the correct base form of verb. That is, didn't she finish her work is the correct answer. Yes, base verb after did is the correct answer. I hope you all are getting it. Yes, after we learned all the rules of the negative interrogative sentence, we now know that which tense is actually formed in the structure, okay, of negative interrogative sentence. Choose the correct sentence. Isn't they coming? Aren't they coming? Doesn't they coming? Don't they comes? So, which is the correct form? Choose the correct sentence. Isn't they? Is used with they in the plural form? No. So, aren't they coming is the answer. Plural subject. Yes or no? So, are is used. Okay. Next sentence is, which sentence shows surprise? There has to be a surprising tone. Yes, you remember whenever we are having a polite tone, whenever we are suggesting somebody, suggestion tone, then comes the surprised or excitement tone. Yes. So amazement tone is there. So now, which option can you find that there is a surprising tone here? Why don't you study? Didn't you know this? Don't you try again? Why don't you go? Which sentence shows surprise? Didn't you know this? Or why don't you study? Which is the correct form? Didn't you know this? Question mark. Didn't you know this? I was hoping that you should know this. Yes. So didn't you know this is the answer. Expresses surprise or expectation, that I was expecting you to know about this fact. Okay. So didn't you know this? All right. The most important point at the end we should all understand after we study the negative interrogative sentence is that negative interrogative sentences are not just questions. They reflect your emotions, expectations, and attitude. It means they have various type of tones in the questions. Okay. Even if we are using not in the sentences, using not in the sentences becomes what? Negative interrogative sentence. But what is it? Actually, it reflects our emotions, whether we are surprised, whether we are excited, whether we are happy, whether we are expecting somebody to say something. Yes? So now, reflect our emotions, expectations, and attitude. Mastering them will instantly upgrade your spoken English and comprehension skills. Okay? Mastering them will instantly upgrade your spoken English and comprehension skills. Because in most of our comprehensions or reading passages which frequently appear in our any high-stake competitive examinations, we mostly find out that there are some grammatical questions. Yes, maybe finding the errors in the sentence. Yes, sentence connectors, error detection. So what we have to do there? We have to find out whether the subject is after the auxiliary verb or the auxiliary verb is added at the later part of the sentence. So how do we do that? Only when we understand the correct base form of verb, or whether the verb is correct in the sentence, or whether the tense is correct in the sentence. So actually, whatever we are studying now, all these kinds of sentences are helping us to understand what? So yesterday we studied what? Imperative sentence. Today we understood what? Negative imperative sentence. Why? Because on the basis of purpose, there are various types of sentences. I told you by structure we studied complex compound and complex compound. By purpose also we had the declarative sentence, imperative sentence, and today we understood the negative interrogative sentences. Then there are conditional sentences as well, where they use the conditional mood in the sentences. So there are various types of sentences that we will learn in English in our upcoming videos, and I hope with this topic, negative interrogative sentences, we learned another form of sentence which will help us in our upcoming exams. So I hope this video helped you all. See you in the next video with another topic. Yes, until then, keep studying and keep working hard. Thank you, everyone.